What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We've humped our way all the way over to the finale. The decisions have been made, and the winner has been chosen. Y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel. Let's get into all things Project Runway. Ciao. Where were we at? What's up, El Cid? Um, El Cid popping in. You know, she be popping in and popping out. She got a lot of places to be. Anyway, we come back to the runway with drama. Antonio, remember, he didn't sashayed himself on out to the parking lot, so he waited on production to come beg him to come back because we knew he wasn't going anywhere. He knows that if his brother, they usually need a partner in the workroom, so get yourself back in here and get back on this stage and let these people tell you that you will not be going to the finale, for goodness sakes. So, yeah, they're so dramatic, both of them. People don't understand what it's like for us, brothers. They don't understand our relationship. I feel like they do. I feel like we've, seen plenty of twins be very much attached to each other. And yeah, so it's no shock. You know what I mean? Um, anyway, on to the next. Jesus told VJ, so they're sitting in the workroom, and Jesus looks at VJ and says, yeah, you know that we are the most humble people that you have ever met in your life. And I'm like, I don't know, because I feel like you guys are very much cocky, very much arrogant, and clearly don't know the meaning of humble. Anyway, the other designers, they kind of stand with them. Melania is like, listen, that's just their opinion. And what did Ethan say? Ethan said, you guys are established. You guys are established designers. And yeah, so it kind of makes sense, I guess. That they don't know the pockets. I guess they're established. I'm not familiar with them, So do y'all know about the Estradas? Not until now we didn't. Anyway, I feel like if you're cocky, VJ is like, if you're cocky and you're arrogant, stand on it. Stand on it. Hey, Shayna, thank you for stopping by. I know you're not a project. Are you a Project Runway girl? You just came to say hey. Hey, girl. It's the last of everything. It's kind of nice. We're going to be moving on to new things. But anyway, yeah, VJ is like stand on business. And I agree with that. I feel like if you're in a competition is nowhere, no reason for you to be humble. Now, the arrogance, you could be that if you want to. You better be having to back it up. I don't know that they back it up so much, but the judges decide. The three going to the finale will be Ethan, Jesus, and VJ. So glad about that. I think we were all like, pretty much had it figured out. I think the people that went were the people that deserved to go, to be honest. The Estradas are sick. They hated everything about that. They did not want to see VJ go to the finals. And so, too bad, so sad. VJ's going and Antonio is not. And, live with it because that's the decisions that's been made over here. They get over to fabric store. They got to pick their fabrics. They only give them 5 days. On the road to 500. Yes, I am, y'all. I feel like the last time I checked, I was 13 subscribers away from 500. This is a big deal for me. I've been working very hard to get to my 500. So 13 away. Hopefully when I wake up in the morning, I will be there and we will, celebrate some type of way about, reaching this YouTube milestone. So anyway, we're over at the fabric store and Jesus is crying over pink fabric because, him and his brother don't do good with being separated from one another. And Antonio would have wanted to do pink. Antonio would have wanted to do pink. So Jesus is going to do pink in honor of his brother. Ethan is over there looking at sparkly black fabric and, he's looking at all types of, he said it's going to make a cool collection. So he's looking at things that he would, deem cool. Ethan's cool. I feel like he's good at picking cool stuff. VJ is over there looking at silver, metal, and leather, like she's inspired by the Terminator. And whatever your inspiration needs to be, I feel like take it to the fabric store because, we got a lot of work to do over here in 5 days. So they get their fabrics, they get back to the workroom, and of course, they get their help. So Antonio, of course, is going to be here for his brother, Jesus. And Eugene is here for Ethan, and Miss Joan is back. VJ is not stupid. She picked a tailor to come help her out through this situation, and I feel like that was a very good choice because VJ makes very complicated designs with many pieces, and you need somebody that's going to be able to sew. Eugene said he could sew, and between Ethan, I feel like it would be a factory happening, and was. Now they get back to the workroom and they're going over their things, and Jesus is asking VJ, can he look at her designs? And he knows she's not gonna do that. You was just calling her all kind of bitches in the work in the back room. Now you want to look at her stuff because we're friends again? They're not. And I don't blame her for not letting him look at her stuff because he'd be a little copycat sometimes, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So model casting, I'm moving right on through. It's not a whole lot going on over here. Model casting, this is a big part of the finale, and apparently Jessica is a tall, very thin one with the bald head, kind of blondish on it, but mostly, very bald. Apparently after, she's very highly sought after. They all wanted to use Jessica because they said, when you have the best model, it makes your clothes look good. So Eugene implied on a TikTok, that's where I saw it with VJ, that production was kind of helping Jesus acquire Jessica as a model.
At that point, I was like, I'm gonna get Jessica.
Yeah.
So I put my hands on there after Christian said, go.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. Christian looked at me and said, mm-mm. Mm-hmm. And at that point, Jesus put his hands on Jessica as well because he also said it. And
so at some point during the competition, Eugene was trying to get Jessica as a model. I feel like he did get her at some point. I think Jessica was the one that modeled the soccer balls, and I think he had her first. But for some reason, they were trying to make sure Jesus, who considers her his muse. Look, at the end of the day, it's a challenge, and I'm not really trying to care about your muse and anything else. So by the luck of the draw, they write their names on a piece of paper, and Christian picks the first name. First name that he opens is VJ. So VJ gets to pick first, and she picks Jessica. And I mean, when she picked Jessica, that Jesus lost his rabbit ass mind. He jumped out of that chair. He was running around, calling her all kinds of bitches. And you trying to start drama, and we gonna have workroom is not gonna be fun around here anymore. Because you are over here trying to pick, what she means to me. And I'm like, why would she care? Why was she supposed to care what that means to her? This is a competition. So anyway, after he went back and forth and VJ watched him blow his stack for a little while, she was like, okay, fine, take Jessica. I feel like she wanted Mimi anyway. Mimi is back. I would rather have Mimi any day over Jessica. I think Jessica is a great model, but something about Mimi kind of very draws you in. So, and she's trans. Like, I feel like that's what she wanted anyway. She just wanted to watch this boy Jesus blow his stack, and that's what he did. So, mission accomplished, I guess. They're in the workroom. They're getting their, thing together. And of course, Christian has to come through and give his critiques. We look over to Ethan's corner, and Ethan has made the same 5 dresses. He's got fabric draped over things, and it's like a little bit of crystal here and a little bit of crystal there. But for the most part, he hasn't done anything new. He's kind of like remakes of that last dress that he did. So, Chris is like, you got to turn that around because you can't send that same dress down the runway like that. And then Jesus has a bunch of pink fabric with a little bit of silver. He over there like, I've got all these looks. I never was going to do 5 looks. I was always going to do more so I could edit down. He's over here repeating things that has been said over the years as if he's somehow, elevated into something other than what he is. The ego is egoing. Anyway, Jesus does a lot of referencing of people and, other designers like that are on the mainstream, other designers that are actually in this workroom. Like he does like his thing of, that's why he want to look at this lady's sketchbook so bad. She's not wrong. She said he's wanting to elevate his taste. I don't know if that's what he's trying to do, but he's definitely looking for inspiration because he's out of inspiration. VJ's still looking at her paper, but she has like these types of fabrics that you can't mess up with leather. Like if you once you sew it together, if you take it apart, it's going to have holes in it. And then she's got chainmail that, will unravel. So the fabrics that she chose kind of limited her to, one shot at it. There is no mistakes that can be made over here. So yeah, she's pondering. Kristen is like, start cutting this thing out because, you got to get to it. There's only 5 days. And the crazy thing is the creative process will take you on all kind of twists and turns and things that you didn't expect. And it could be a happy, twist or a not so happy turn. So, we see what's going to happen over there. They're sitting down, all the designers having their last supper together, I guess, before, the runway. And Jesus and VJ apologize to each other again. These two they have agreed to move forward in this toxic relationship that they have. It's okay, child. I've never seen 2 people that can't stand each other, but continue to try to be friends with each other. They get to the hustle and bustle of the runway, and every season we have a disaster that happens, zipper break or there's some type of sewing emergency that always happens to someone before they hit the stage. So that's what happened. That was the first part of the show in a nutshell. The judges are Heidi, Law, Michael Kors, and Christian are going to be sitting on the runway to judge these final looks. So let's get into looks, shall we? Where do we start? Let's start with a Jesus. Jesus made a bunch of pink stuff. He's got this pink, 2-piece. Would y'all wear any of this to anything? The only thing I think, honestly, that could be worn by someone would be the finale dress, the pink. Well, it's all pink. But the fuzzy feather, I agree with Nina. Take the sleeves off. It's a lot. Jessica does it justice. But, Jesus is very much remaking patterns and referencing other things. Apparently, I think it was Valentino, he said, that had an all pink collection. It wasn't this color pink because this pink is a hot ass mess. So if you see anything over here that you would actually wear, let me know because I would not. I feel like those pants are not flattering. The top is cute, but I mean, I can't do that no more. So that's not something I could wear either. This bolero with this little bitty skirt. I don't know what this ruffle is that he's thrown on it. And then there's another pair of ill-fitting pants and this silver fabric is like flowers, like smashed onto some netting. I feel like it's cool, to be honest, but the way he put it here, like pink and silver and flashy. This silver dress looks like the green dress, only not as well executed. And like I said, the last dress, the finale dress, is pretty enough. I definitely could see it on a red carpet. And, like Nina said, without the sleeves. It's editorial, I guess. It's just so pink. It is. It's so very pink. And it's so pink that you really can't see what's going on. Like it's pink, it's ruffles, it's silver, it's flowers. It's a whole lot of hoopla. And, that's what he came up with, child. Ethan's collection. I liked Ethan's collection. Ethan had this young lady with the short dress go out first. I think that was my mistake. I think the guy should have gone out first because you want to start with a bit of drama. The two in the middle should have been in the middle. The black sheer dress, okay. I mean, sheer is in. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but it's Ethan. It says Ethan, and of course the finale dress, the big black one. I think that's gorgeous. Now I could definitely see that on a red carpet. Um, Utica came and did her thing, and that's okay because I feel like Ethan's still trying to figure out like how to balance Utica and Ethan and moving into the fashion world. I wish he would have time to do some more of these dramatic dresses. I think take the leather pieces out. Even though Law said some of the pop star girls would wear that, it does look like old school Destiny's Child. Who was it? I think it was Nina said he could calm down the hair. He could definitely, the drama doesn't have to go and go and go. And it would have definitely looked more fashion if the hair wasn't in all of these, like, whatever he got going on over here. But I would love to see a collection of his gowns. I think his gowns are very beautiful when he has time to execute them properly. This was a last minute thing. And if that's what you come up with in the last minute, then, heck yeah for that, because that's a beautiful gown. And it was like floating almost on the runway. And this season's winner of Project Runway, VJ. VJ came through with a Terminator inspired collection. I think the right person won. I feel like it's hard to make a story, a collection with 5 pieces, and I think she did a great job at that. My only critique would be if that first silver one had some black on it, like Michael Kors said, then it would have tied the black piece in together. Or if y'all would have given them more opportunity to do more stuff, then maybe the black would have come on the other side. But I like how, even though I'm not a big fan of that silver, whatever it is going on, it's a concept, and it's almost like a concept that kind of morphed into actual clothing. So that's why I like it. She came with the same angles. The knit dress is, anybody could wear that. I love the skirt. Yeah, so I feel like the black outfit, fire. The jacket and the pants, love that. The chain metal, what do you call it? Dress. It's very Grecian wrap, and apparently very heavy. But yeah, it looks like a cohesive collection. So shout out to VJ for being the winner of this season. Y'all, it ain't a really whole lot to say about it, to be honest. I will say this. I'm going to go back to your boy, Jesus. And this is what I mean by him referencing things. So when you look at Jesus's final collection, the 2-piece is very reminiscent of his brother's 2-piece. He, tweaked it a little bit. I feel like he actually, I didn't pull it up, but Antonio actually had some pants in that athletic wear challenge that were cut like this with the wide leg, the bustier top. He just tweaked it a little bit. He takes away from somebody's design and then just does enough tweaking. This one down here at the bottom, he copied Bologna's ruffle. That's exactly the same ruffle. He made it bigger, but he used it in exactly the same way she did. The pants, the ruffle. I don't know what that halter top is doing, but again, he's referencing something that's already done. This pink thing came over here and there was nothing new about it, to be honest. Down here at the other side at the bottom, he kind of reimagined his coat, the ruffle around the coat. He turned it into a bolero, same ruffle around the collar. And then the final 2 dresses were exactly the same, pretty much as the dress he just did last week. So when VJ said he's cutting out patterns and redoing them, that's exactly what he's doing. So as a whole, I feel like this was very underwhelming. And I could sit here and keep trying to make up things, but there's really nothing. VJ was the person that was supposed to win, but I wasn't wowed by anything that she did either. It was a huge disappointment. And And to be honest, I'm glad it's over because I don't really want to come back and talk about these people again. I don't know. I don't want Project Runway to go anywhere. I just want them to, fall back into some of the things that they took away because, it sucks for us as fans of the show that we got slighted so much. I sure wish I could see a Joseph McCray Runway, but unfortunately they got rid of him. What else was I gonna tell y'all? Project Runway's over. I don't know where they're coming back, but I do feel like we developed a little bit of a fashion community over here, and I want to come back. So I'll come back next week, and I'll probably once a month. I don't want to make it an every week thing, but once a month I'm going to come back with a fashion report because there's runways and different events that we could come over here and talk about for us fashion girlies that want to get into the fashion of it all. So New York Fashion Week happened. So I will be back next week with a fashion report of some of the designers that I like from Project Runway. If y'all know of any designers, any new hot designers that you want to turn me on to, I'll look into that too. So let me know down in the comments. And yeah, y'all, that's all I got. I ain't got no more. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, for sure subscribe. I'm really excited to be so close to 500, and yeah, I'll see y'all when I see you. Bye y'all.